Hi, so I'm Hannah Plank, and this is the student cadre video number 2. So one of the prompts is about the phase-in plan. So right now we are 5 weeks finished, and I have taken over social studies and language arts, or scratch that. I have social studies and reading. And next week I take over writing, and they've also given me a MTSS group, which MTSS groups are like special blocks of time, 30 minutes. The entire 5th grade gets split up into smaller groups, and they work on specific reading things, and these groups are based on skill level. So I have 8, and they are they're a high group. So mostly what we've been doing is reading stories or novels and talking about the story elements, setting, character traits, plot, that kind of stuff, because that's one of the big things of 5th grade. Other groups practice more frequency with those struggling with that. And there's some groups that are even going back down to some decoding and things for those kiddos that are struggling. So anyway, so that's what I have so far, which is about a third of the day. I'm at about a third of the day, which is pretty good. And then I've also been doing some of the transition times, because obviously that's a thing too. So that's where we are. We've strayed a little bit from the original plan, just because life, stuff happens. But I think it'll still be fine. As far as the PPAT, I don't know. I feel like I'm not doing very good on it, but I guess it's because I don't really know what they want. I'm very short and sweet and to the point, and I'm not even coming close to the character limit, so I'm like, do they need more? I don't really know. And so I have task 1 submitted and done. I've looked over task 2 and 3, and I'm confused. I have no idea. So I've kind of put it on the back burner until our meeting about it this next week, and then maybe I'll understand more and can take on more. But I also, when? And am I going to have time to work on it? Which brings us to time management. So lesson plans and teaching, PPAT, and my family. I have 2 kiddos and a husband and life responsibilities. I'm all over the place. I'm a hot mess, as we can see. So it's one of those, I know some things are gonna have to give or figure out ways to multitask. I haven't figured out how to do that yet. I feel like if I work on things at school, I'm missing out on the observation time that I could be having. And I've also been doing a lot of, and the subjects I don't have that she's teaching, and the para and I are kind of going around and watching and helping individuals, stay on track, catch up, that kind of thing, which is needed, and it's building a rapport with those students that they know that they can, come to me with problems just like anything else. But it means I have no time to work on anything else during the day. Stress management, I'm kind of a pretty grounded person anyway. I pretty much live on the Hot Mess Express, so I'm used to that. One thing I really push at our house is I know a lot of families, when they get home from school, it's immediate homework time. I'm not one of those. I think everybody needs their decompression time. I do, my kids do. So when we get home, all of us kind of go do our own thing. My son delves into his Legos. My daughter goes outside. Just being outside is her place. I will just go sit on the bed and play a mindless game on my phone, or just sit and be quiet for about 30 or 40 minutes, and then we've all had our time and we can get up and I start dinner, we start homework, we start on the evening tasks. But I think that time is important. I think if I were to jump right into dinner the minute I get home, no. Or jump right into anything the minute I get home, I will not be a happy person. So that I call it the decompression time, and it's vitally important and sacred. And even for the kids, they need it. They've had a busy day. They need some time where someone's not expecting something from them. They don't have to sit still. They don't have to stay quiet. They can just do what their mental happy place and take a break. So that's probably why I'm not saying there's not any stress, but it doesn't wear on me like that. So anywho, as far as successes, let's see. I had my first evaluation yesterday. Today's Saturday, so I had it for yesterday. I mean, obviously there's things that I would have done different, which I think about in hindsight, but as far as my first one, I think it was pretty good. I'll see when we get this feedback back, but I feel good about it. I know it's always improve. I mean, that's the whole point of student teaching. But I feel pretty good about it. And I've made strides with a couple students who are difficult. So we have one, and of course I'm not saying names, but anything to do with math, when he knows math time is coming, he shuts down, digs his heels in, crosses his arms, not doing it. And rather than working the problems like all the other students are doing with the teacher and stuff, he's just like, nope, puts his head down, all that. I know this kid is really into like military stuff. And so whenever he gets that way, and he just has us on ignore, I'll go up next to him and I'll go, psh, psh, done. Psh. Roger, come in. Psh. Are you there? Come in. Over. Psh. Like we're talking in a CB. And it cracks a smile. And it brings him back. Like, there he is. There's I can't say his name. That's hard. Now, he still doesn't necessarily move on. He still doesn't necessarily work as he's supposed to, but he's at least not shut down. So I've found a way to, get through in a silly way. And I'm still struggling with what our students are able to do and what they're not able to do. I feel like I should have already had a hold of that by now. We have a lot of very low students in our class, and even my cooperating teacher, this is the first time in quite a few years that she's actually had special ed students in her class and needed a para. So in that sense, I feel good because it's not just me. But I feel like I'm continually lowering my expectations to find something that they can do. Things I would have thought 5th grade could do by now, they're not able to. So that's still a struggle. And getting them to stop talking. Good gracious. They're a very talkative bunch. Unless you're trying to teach to them, and then it's a brick wall. So, yeah. That's where we are. That's where I'm at. And, yeah, I hope everybody else is having a good time so far and learning a lot. And we just got to keep on trucking.